Okay, Ryan Seslow, who teaches the other section of digital storytelling here at your college, made this nice tutorial for building these layered GIFs. Um, there's his GIF of a character followed behind it by this still image from the New York Public Library with holes cut out in the windows, and then behind that is another GIF. And so there's the original photo found at the New York Public Library. There's the cutouts. He's using a tool called New Hive or Tubi, which are these web applications that allow you to make collages, and they really are like web art collages. He has these animated backgrounds that he works with that he's able to place using that tool, and then he has this character that he can put in the foreground. So I thought I'd do a video version of this. I'm not going to do the foregrounded character, but I'm going to show you, we're going to do some things that you already know how to do. But I am going to follow the spirit of the tutorial, and I went to the New York Public Library and decided to do a search for the Unisphere, which is the globe that's a relic from the World's Fair from the 60s and hosted in Flushing Meadow Corona Park in Queens, which is very close to here. So I think that's apropos for a Jamaica Queens thing. And so I picked this one for a particular reason. I'm going to do a selection. I'm going to select all these black areas by color. I'm going to show you how to do. That's going to be a new skill in Photoshop. We'll show. If it's an image that's still under copyright, you're going to see only a maximum of a 760 pixel dimension image. If it's out of copyright, CC licensed, or public domain, you'll see the full resolution image. So you can look for that if you get interested in playing with these images. So I downloaded that image, and I've got it here in Photoshop. And I'm going to do a selection based on color range. All right. Actually, first, this has a background layer, and I need to make this a layer so there'll be transparency. So it's now layer 0, meaning it's the background. It's going to allow for transparency. I'm also going to do a quick crop. Of the bottom out. Go away. Don't give me a... Sorry. There we go. Because I don't want this Unisphere part in the bottom either. Okay? Now I could do it either. I could do it in the white. What do you think? Should we do the black or the white? The black? Yeah, I thought the black too. So I'm going to select color range. In the color range, you can use a fuzziness, and you can see, depending, I set a sample. So we have this eyedropper tool here, and that's a sample. So I sample the black, all right, and you can see whatever's white is what's going to be selected, okay? And you can create this fuzziness so you can see how much will end up being selected, all right? And so I'm going to create this selection. I think that's good for now. And then I'm just literally going to delete it. All right, and so now I have this funky image with a background, and I think I'm going to do one more crop because I'm going to want the bottom to not be there. All right. See how that works, okay? And so now I'm going to say I need to save this as a transparent image, and there's a couple ways you could do it as a GIF. So I'm going to or a PNG file. PNG file is a higher quality because it allows for more colors. So I'll do this export. You could do a quick export to PNG, but I'm so used to using the web tool. So I'm going to select a PNG 24. I'm going to say save. We'll just put this on the desktop, and we'll say Unisphere. With transparent background. Now, if you want to do a specific cutout, you can look back at the pop star out of place tutorial for doing making a selection. This is just one way of making a selection and then creating transparency. So the next thing is I'm going to use I'm going to need to have a background that has this kind of aesthetic that of pixelization. What I encourage you to do is you could either create something, as I showed you how you might use tools from your phone to generate glitchy type spaces, or you could find something. I did a glitch art GIF search, and there's all these different types of imagery. And notice you can end up cropping these things and not using all of it. All right. So there's a lot of funky stuff around there, right? So, or you can just search for glitch GIF. I'm going to work with a couple pieces of mine. I'm going to start with this one. So all I need is the URLs. I don't need to download these, all right? So I'm going to try a couple different ones. So I'll also try this one, and this one, and I think this one. All right, so these are all available via URL. And now I'm going to switch to one of these two tools. You can use either. There's 2B and there's New Hive. Both are, if we do a quick look at either of them, they allow people to create collages, all right? They feature different collages on the site. This is someone that's done, so this is basically an array of images just layered with transparency and using different tools. You can make a GIF semi-transparent, so you can play with opacity tools, and that's probably what's going on with here and here and even here. So it's really a wonderful tool to make these really abstract digital collages, right? There's lots and lots of different things that are possible. These are some amazing, it's one of my favorite spaces to kind of look through to get inspired by, right? You can find music and things like that. So, but you need to create an account. You can do, there's very similar, 2B is very similar. We could look at an example of a piece of work in here from this particular artist. I'm guessing this is going to have some animation, and it's a little slower. I think New Hive. No, this doesn't even have an animation. So I'm going to use 2D because I know it better. I'm used to it, and I'm going to say start a field, but I recommend learning either of them. Oops. And you know what? With 2B, I'm going to have to download images. So let's do that. So let's save this one. Save image as, let's say this is my red background. So, all right. So let's start with the 2B. And I'm going to have to, sorry, it's been a while. I don't know how to get rid of that tool. So I need to drag stuff into this space. So I'll find those two images. Let's start with the red background. I can put it in the space. And I can immediately resize this, all right? I can make it as big as I want, okay? And then I can move it around. So I have this really crazy background, and then I can click off of it, and then I can grab the Unisphere and place it on top of it. And you can already see the Unisphere has got really funky area into it. And you can use whatever you want of it. And now you can see what the animation somewhat looks like, right? That's pretty cool, right? And so now, I can't do it right now because I'm using a screen recorder, but the idea is you need to record this. So it is re-recording because I'm doing a screen recording right now, and I can do that as a separate tutorial. But the next thing to do is do a screen recording of this area of the space and then you can import that video to Photoshop, or you could link to this specific spot, but turning it into a GIF is very useful. And I will do that. I could probably use one QuickTime to do a screen recording of another QuickTime. Let's try that. Let's see if the other QuickTime player works to do that. I've never done two screen recordings at the same time. File, new. No, it's a new movie recording. Let's see. Yeah, no, that's based on that. Hi. So that won't work. All right, so it's done, and technically it exists. It's an object, and that's it. For this tutorial, that'll have to